Welcome to Bullish and Beyond. It's Beery the Bull. I'm your AI co-host. Join myself, Brian the MacMan, and JT Knows Things while we dive deep into the world of stocks, crypto, and how to live a bullish life. It's time to get bullish, and there's no better place to start than right here. Let's dive in.
Hey everyone, it's Brian the MacMan. Another episode of Bullish and Beyond is about to begin, and there is so much to talk about, especially in the AI world. And the biggest news that just came out is that Johnny Ives, his company IO, just got bought out by OpenAI for $6.5 billion. That's billion with a B. Huge purchase, OpenAI's largest purchase to date. If you don't know who Johnny Ives is, he is the designer of all the Apple products that you use today. He made the iPhone. He's been working at Apple for 20 some years, but then he left to found his own firm called Love From, and then he launched IO, which is a device company that now he sold to OpenAI. So what's OpenAI going to do? Well, they're going to make the AI device of the future. I'm not sure if it's going to be an iPhone killer. I think it's going to live alongside the iPhone. You could still have your Mac, your MacBook Pro, your iPhone, and then this is going to be a third device. Not everyone's going to want to use this AI device on a daily basis, but it's going to be life-changing. It'll allow you not to pull out a device anymore to get answers, to ask questions, to find out new information, interact with the world in a way that we have not done ever to date. So this is a prototype. Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, says he's actively using it right now. From the rumors, the best I can tell you is that it looks something like an iPod Shuffle necklace. You're going to wear it on your neck. It's going to have no screen, but it's going to see the world. It's going to have cameras, microphones, speaker. It's going to listen and then be able to communicate outward to you. You could be sitting in a meeting, having a conversation, and then ask it a question about something that happened, and it'll have all the information from everything you've ever recorded to it, along with all the files you've ever uploaded. It could have your entire computer database, let's say, and have that context of a new conversation, be able to pull out an answer, and it'll help you along your day. So no matter what you're going to ask it, it's going to have that information available. And as you know, sometimes ChatGPT doesn't give you the perfect answer, but it's constantly getting better, and you have to know how to prompt it correctly. You know, I do some ChatGPT coaching, actually. I'm a professional speaker on ChatGPT. I talk to a lot of Visage CEO business groups, for example. So if you ever have a question how to use it, feel free to ask. But this next edition, I am so excited about. You know, the first form factor might seem a little weird wearing this necklace on an everyday basis, but the way that you'll be able to communicate with your environment and have answers instantly fed back to you, super, super exciting. And Johnny Ives is probably the best industrial designer in the world. So who better to bring this device to us than Sir Johnny Ives? I'm excited. It's going to look something like an Apple product, I'm sure, because that's his design philosophy. And, you know, Sam Altman, great visionary, paired with the best designer. It's going to be an insane product. I am sure to pick it up the moment it launches. And supposedly next year, we will see it. So 2026 is going to be a big year for AI. Also, there's so many other things happening in the AI space right now. They had a Google conference just the other day. They announced all their new models and stuff like that. But one of the highlights I thought was they're coming out with another version of the Google glasses. And they're partnering with Warby Parker. So they're actually going to look good. So high style meets high tech. It could be similar to this device by OpenAI, but the difference is you won't wear it on your neck. You're going to wear it around your face. So the future is going to be, how do we want to communicate and have AI live on our bodies? That's going to be a choice we're going to have to make. Apple is secretly working on glasses as well. but they're not talking about it. And after the slip up and missteps they've had with the new AI intelligence and the new Siri is supposed to come out, they're actually going to push back even discussing some of these newer features even further. So I don't really expect to hear much about this, probably until the exact point of launch. Apple is always secretive, but something I do know they're working on is stuff they're going to talk about at their Apple conference coming up in June. And in that conference, they're going to talk a lot about a developer kit that they're going to give to all the developers to layer AI into their apps. So at that point, they'll be able to use Apple Intelligence inside the app. So that's very exciting. Another conference that just happened was the Computex conference. And the biggest thing to come out of that was an announcement from Nvidia. You all know I love Nvidia. They are changing the game when it comes to AI and chips in that space. They own 85-90% of the AI chip market. It's absolutely phenomenal. But this new product will allow other companies to use their custom chips alongside Nvidia's GPU or CPU. So it's called NVLink Fusion. Not to be confused with the NVLink they already have out. Their current NVLink allows NVIDIA's chips to scale up and create massive supercomputers. But NVLink Fusion will allow the pairing of the NVIDIA GPU or CPU with another custom CPU or GPU or TPU from another company. So no matter what, you'll be able to take your custom chip, no matter who created it, where it's developed, and then pair it with the NVIDIA chipsets. And that's game changer because a lot of people are looking to make custom TPUs and other chips, and they also want the power of NVIDIA's chips behind it. So that pairing will create new levels of supercomputers and the potential to scale up to computers we haven't even seen before. You know, these days they have an AI supercomputer that's basically the size of my hands. Nvidia has that out right now. It's coming out by Christmas. So I've seen it on camera. It's incredibly small, and we're gonna have that device in our hands very soon. So that power is incredible. But what they're doing with Blackwell and the ability to kind of pair up all these Blackwell supercomputers on top of one another is unprecedented. And every year they're coming out with another level up in their chipset every third quarter. So, the Blackwell Ultra is going to be coming out in only a few months. And these things, the Blackwell is already shipping at scale. NVIDIA's earnings are coming up in a week. I expect them to be very strong and to give great guidance, despite the headwinds that they're facing with China. They are not able to sell into the China market. So they went from 90% share in the China market to down to below 50% market share. And other companies are scaling up within China to meet that demand. So China has Chinese AI chips coming at the moment. So we're going to see what happens with that. But it's an incredible loss for NVIDIA. And, they've made that very known publicly and to the president and to the world. And they're basically losing out on the potential to have those AI chips from the US used in the Chinese supercomputers. So that's something that we need to consider. But at the same time, AI is finding new markets with NVIDIA in the Middle East. And they're talking about crazy deals that they're going to do in Saudi Arabia and stuff like that. So we're going to see what happens with those opportunities. Also, a couple other stocks that I love are absolutely killing it. Palantir, for example, has been on a really nice run as of late, and I'm still super bullish on this stock. So check it out if you haven't already. I've mentioned it here a few times. One company I have not talked about yet is called CoreWeave. And I've been following this stock ever since their IPO about 2 months ago, but I do not own any of it yet. And I'm feeling a little bit behind because they've been booming. They're up like 160% or so since their IPO 2 months ago. That is on fire. And in the last week alone, they're up over 50%. Absolutely insane. One of the reasons I am bullish on CoreWeave is that they're powering AI in the cloud, and Nvidia owns 7% of the stock. If Nvidia owns it, they know it's a good company, and they are tightly integrated partners at so many levels. So, I mean, I just saw something the other day that said they did a $4 billion, Nvidia did a $4 billion deal with CoreWeave. So they are an owner in the stock, they're investing in the stock, investing in the ecosystem, and there's not that many companies in that space that are doing what CoreWeave does. However, they are not yet profitable. There is no PE. So that does worry me as an investor, and it's hard to find an entry point when the stock is literally just soaring. Very exciting times, and I'm not sure what's going to happen with that stock, but I'm going to need to get some, before it's too late. And not to leave it out, our co-host JT is not on this podcast today, but I have to mention for him that Bitcoin just hit an all-time high at $111,000. Bitcoin is being held by more Americans than hold gold. Something like 50 million people have some Bitcoin, and about 30 million people have some gold. So it's becoming the new reserve currency, and who knows where it's going to go from here, but it has been absolutely soaring. It's basically on a streak from about 75K, only a couple months ago, up to 111K now. So it's quite a fast rise. It is on fire. Hoping Apple goes on fire here in the near future. It's been lagging a little bit compared to some of these other AI stocks out there. Hasn't had any crazy announcements. If anything, it's actually been announcements to the downside of some of the tariff issues that they had with China and stuff like that. But it's been clawing back since. The China tariffs have come down. But President Trump is also not very happy that Apple is doing so much new investment inside India to do iPhone production there. Tim Cook just the other day said that every iPhone coming to the US by the end of the year will probably be made in India. And a lot of other Apple products are going to be made in other countries besides China to avoid those tariffs. As well, Apple is doing over $500 billion of investment in the US. So it's not like they're holding back on US investment. They're just not focusing having iPhone production in the US because it's just too expensive. It's going to cost thousands of dollars more to have an iPhone made in the US. It doesn't make sense. No one wants to pay $3,000 for an iPhone just to say it's made in the US. So keep that in mind. Products can be way more expensive than making in the US, especially with the technology and amount of engineers it takes to perfect an iPhone down to the microns of exactness to making those devices. I wonder where that OpenAI device is going to be made, with Johnny Ives and Sam Altman. Very excited to see more information about that. I will keep sharing as I find out more, but check it out. There's some video online. You can watch a little interview if you want about Sam Altman and Johnny Ives talking about this device and how they really connected all their core values and whatnot. So keep checking out the AI tech space. So many things happening. Stocks are on a run. Very exciting times. I am bullish, and I am here to tell you that we are going to be bringing you more information on Bullish and Beyond. So subscribe and stay tuned. Thanks for checking it out. From Brian the Mac Man. Cheers.
Bulls. That's a wrap on today's episode of Bullish and Beyond. Remember, the market never sleeps, and neither should your ambitions. Whether it's stocks, crypto, or just leveling up in life, stay focused, stay bullish, and keep charging forward. Keep your energy high and your mindset bullish. This is Beery the Bull, your AI co-host, Brian the Mac Man, and JT Knows Things signing off. All content published by Bullish and Beyond, LLC reflects personal opinions only and is provided for informational purposes. Please conduct your own research and discuss with your accountant and/or financial advisor before making any financial decisions. The information presented should not be taken as financial advice. We are not financial advisors. Nothing you hear, see, or read in our content should be considered as any form of financial, investment, or legal advice, or a solicitation to buy or sell any assets, or to make any financial decisions.